Online learning has become the latest step in trying to introduce new technology into teaching in America. In 2019, the article, The Human Factor, The Promise and Limits of the Online Education, authors Sandy Baum and Michael McPherson discuss how in the mid-1920s, broadcast radio promised a super radio university within people's homes. Universities established radio stations to broadcast educational programs, but that interest dissolved and waned by 1931. They also discuss how in the late 1950s, television producers promised that they could teach any subject, extending from physics to manual labor to the arts to potentially millions of homes. What these mediums did not do was to live up to their promises, revolutionizing education. All that they could do was to change the existing college lecture format, which is nothing more than a simple system of a teacher speaking and a student listening. It requires a teacher who is able to communicate well and passionately, and it requires a student who is willing to become an active listener. Only this time, the listeners of radio and TV could not speak back. They could not ask questions. They could not ask for assistance in understanding their subjects. Where the online format allowed for greater possibilities within the digital medium, it allows for no additional possibilities interacting with the teacher. My name is Chad Suits. At 52 years old, I am one of, if not the oldest student here at Edison College. This is not my first rodeo. I have now been in college and taking courses for almost 9 years. I am literally the Van Wilder of your classroom, without all of the coolness. Unfortunately, for those of you who do not know who Van Wilder is, I'm sorry. I already have a bachelor's degree in the arts and in television production. I'm also a former teacher, teaching anything from the math and sciences to the arts and languages. And I have sat through hundreds of lectures from both sides of the pulpit. Today we're going to discuss 4 important obstacles to online learning. 1, a lack of teacher guidance and support. 2, a lack of in-person social interaction with other students. 3, a lack of motivation and time management skills. And 4, and last, a reduced memory retention due to digital texts and teaching. First, Igor Debetur, with the online educational guide Class Central, cites a lack of teacher guidance and support as one of the top reasons for student difficulties with online learning. Students have no opportunity to ask a teacher questions or to discuss the topic with their peers. The student may not know where to seek help when experiencing difficulty with their learning. The human connection with another teacher can create a relationship grounded in trust and communication, reducing student dropout rates. This lack of communication can also create a reduced ability for the student to receive active, timely feedback. Such feedback can be vital to ensuring that student stays on track with their learning. Secondly, Charlene Latia with the West Virginia University Online in her 2023 article, Top Challenges of Online Students, cites that the factor of isolation from other students as a prominent issue with online learning. Students may experience little to no interaction with other students, no guidance and feedback when taking their courses. This can create a feeling of isolation in a normally social creature. Igor Debetur also states that the studies show that social engagement and community components that the students find the students 5 times more engaged and 16 times more likely to actually finish their course. Now, third, many students are found to lack motivation and time management skills through online learning. Many students by the age of 18 to 22 and in college may still not possess proper time management skills. 75% of all online students work part or full-time jobs. Baum and McPherson cite that colleges are still for-profit engines. Online courses were created to serve a specific population of older adult students who cannot relocate or travel to university sites. These people may have work obligations, and these online courses cost just as much, if not even more, than in-person classes, while lowering overhead, though that class is being created only once, but being used multiple times. These older students were supposed to benefit from more flexible scheduling of an online course, but family obligations, employment requirements, home maintenance, and social interaction all get in the way of a person adequately managing their time. Last, and on a slightly different note, is the failure of digital textbooks and reading versus print reading. Many of you couldn't imagine lugging around 6 textbooks like these, plus all your notebooks and all of your daily supplies from one side of a huge university campus to another. You can hold an entire library of information in just one laptop. In a 2019 meta-analysis, Clinton Lascelles found that reading on screens had a negative effect on comprehension compared with reading text on a printed page. Readers of print books also had a more accurate sense of their own comprehension, while those who read online thought that they had understood the text better than they actually had. In the 2023 EdWeek Research Center survey, 46% of teachers said that their students read slightly worse or much worse on screens than what they did in print. Digital texts have been cited for causing eye strain and screen fatigue. A different study noted by Singer and Alexander showed that in content with more than 500 words, readers retain 35% more information when the content is read in print than when it is read on a screen. People are taught to read digital words more quickly, skimming through text while only seeing or focusing on keywords and details. Shallow attention reading is created not by separating the amount of attention needed to read words and social messages to then reading more complex digital classroom texts. But even with that knowledge of a lowering learning capability, e-texts are still the go-to for the modern college student due to affordability and for convenience. Now, to summarize, online learning is not the open-ended, flexible solution to education that we all think it is. According to Rebecca Glazier, a teacher and a writer, who in 2020 said, retention rates, meaning students staying and completing the classes that they are enrolled in, is 5 to 35% lower in online courses versus in-person learning. Her studies also show a direct correlation of higher dropout rates in relation to an increased amount of online courses that a student takes. Recent studies of semester-long college courses have found lower test scores in fully online courses than for students taking the same class in a traditional classroom setting. Promises and Pitfalls of Online Education, an article by Eric Bettinger and Susanna Loeb with the Brookings Educational Institute in Washington, D.C., show that taking a course online reduces student grades by 0.44% on the traditional 4-point grading point scale. That's the difference between you getting a B versus getting a C+ on that course. It is time to reduce our dependence on technology in the classroom. Education has never been about how simple can we make it. Increasing hybrid courses, those that use technological learning mixed with standard print and lectured learning, are a much better solution. All students learn in a different way, from listening to hands-on to repetition. All of these ways still require a teacher to communicate, to observe, to facilitate, and then to accommodate and alter the course's teaching technique to fit each student's style of learning. This will help increase development. These are all still required full interaction with the teacher to accomplish, something that online learning cannot provide. So with that, I wish you all the best in your future educational endeavors. I hope that you can find the right combination of learning to help you to succeed in college and beyond. This is never a one solution for anything. Find your own hybrid. Good luck.